I have, I've been out there and rescued guys. I've been in the fields or in the most despair part of their life, and have taken them to Chris's farm. It's Warrior Farm up in North Georgia, and these guys' lives have changed just by learning again, watching plants grow, becoming one with the things that they have out there, and they found a reason to live, a reason to thrive.
Hmm. And that's what it's all about. It's about that mission in life. It's about finding that new mission in life, whether it's plants, whether it's your family, whether it is just a positive outlook. If that's your new mission, find it. Find something that keeps you alive. And that's what we fight for every single day. And we're going to keep
Absolutely, I will
pushing that
continue to fight.
message.
Yeah,
That's right.
so
That's exactly right.
ditto here, brother. We'll continue to fight. It actually brings me a peace of mind and a sense of being here. Watching other people get out of the disparity that I've been in and seeing myself.
Oh my gosh, I'm really excited about what we're going to do together. There's no doubt about it. But I want to take a step back a little bit and talk about when you got out of the military. You've faced a lot of trials and tribulations in your life. If you don't mind, tell us a little bit about the accident that you had where your foot was injured and you almost lost it.
Yeah, well, let preface that when you talk about the air traffic controller stuff, I watched an A4 from Texas Naval Air Station blow up because we were both close together. Watch it explode into a ball of fire out of nowhere, and it messed my
Wow.
head up big time. Then, so that was a military incident. Since then, when I got out, it still bothered me for a while. I got out, I was going back to school, and we don't realize that we're not okay sometimes. We walk around and we're really in a funk, which is what I was in. I did not know that. So it took a long time for me to get out of things, and I started drinking heavily and just being rambunctious.
Right.
So the cannabis helped me get out of all of those things. When I hurt my foot, almost lost it. I was blessed that I knew about the cannabis beforehand. And they did the same thing again. They tried to fill me full of opiates and all those things. And I'm like, hey man, I can take the pain, and sometimes you have to be precarious to protect your own interests with the doctors too. Um, the cannabis, I got the same thing again. Got 90 and 120 more potent pills than I got the last time,
Sure,
and
sure.
I let them sit there in the bottle. I was able to medicate myself with the plant.
Wow.
And it saved my life. I'm blessed to have 2 feet, but I know I would have gone absolutely crazy, and I may not have been here now had I utilized the pills that were prescribed to me.
The reason I asked that is because you were a civilian when this happened to you. And we
Correct.
fight all the time for civilians too. That
Yeah,
we aren't the
for
only
us Indians.
ones. That's right. We're not the only
Yeah,
ones who suffer from PTS or chronic pain. Civilians do too.
right.
And that's what a lot of our listeners are going to get message wise from this too is hey, those veterans aren't just fighting for themselves, they're fighting for me too. And that's what we want them to know. Hey, we're there for you.
Well, we have to be mindful that veterans and civilians in this country, we're all Americans. So we're
That's right.
together we stand united. United we stand, divided we fall, and we're fighting for a common goal. But we want people to allow us to educate themselves so they can understand the beautiful benefits of something that came from the ground. It's all natural.
That's right.
This is not something we're processing. It's all natural, and it has so many benefits. And if someone would again, like you said, personalize it and watch someone that they knew, suffer, and watch them come out of that suffering and thrive, it's a blessing to the victim, the sufferer, and to the person that loves them. We could all become victimized, but it's our choice to not be victims.
That is so true. Anthony, is it hard for you, or do you have conversations with your family and your friends about your cannabis use, or is it just something that just doesn't get talked about?
So my sister is she's 6 combat duties. She's a two-time
Wow.
Bronze Star recipient. Two-time Bronze Star recipient. One is enlisted personnel, and one is a Christian officer. And she was more adamantly against cannabis than I was or anyone was. And when she got out of the service, she was going absolutely crazy and drinking a lot of alcohol too. She's alcohol free.
Wow.
And she came home and she said, Anthony, would you see if you help me get this? And my dad texted me and said, did you get any of that stuff for your sister? And my sister went and talked to him, and told him that if you want me here around you, then I suggest that listen to me, talk to you, and let me explain to you my situation.
That's right.
And now he's a proponent of it. And so,
That
he's
is
a backer of
awesome.
it himself. Yeah, so
I think that was the
it,
hardest thing I ever did was coming out to my grandparents. And they are in their mid 70s, mid to late 70s now. And this was 10 years ago, 10, 15 years ago when I came out to them, and went to Vermont. I started growing cannabis myself, and I'd never grown anything. I mean, I had gotten out of the military. I didn't have a green thumb. I go to Vermont and start growing cannabis up there and change my life forever. Right.
oh,
So
absolutely.
I come home and I'm like, do I tell them? Do I not? I'm a college student now. I'm on the dean's list 4.0. Do I really do I take a chance? It was so hard, but my biggest advocates now, that's my grandparents. They are
Yes,
the biggest
again, once you
advocates.
personalize it, you see a loved one that's not hurting. I'm actually right now, seriously, tears fell on my eyes just now.
Awesome.
Watching a loved one, thrive and be able to live.
That's right.
And it's sad that our government is preventing us from living or trying to prevent us from living. They're not going to prevent me from living anymore.
Right, right.
But they're trying to prevent us from living and create a chaos when they can make it a hell of a lot less chaotic life for us all. And people will thrive. They'll be active, productive members of the society and give back. And that's all we want to do.
That's it. That's all it comes down to. And when you really think about it, we talked about it earlier. When they personalize it, when you personalize it to those unfortunately those people way up there in that ivory tower in DC, when you
Yeah,
personalize it and you put this message on it, it changes them. But it's so hard to get that 5, 10, 15 minutes that it's going to take to get that message across, right? It's almost impossible, but it can be done. So you got to fight, you got to personalize it, you got to make it happen from a personal level.
absolutely. You've got to have a sincere desire to want to see people thrive and want to help people and understand that what the current situation is not doing anything but killing people and putting people's lives at risk
Right.
who put their life at
Absolutely.
risk one time already.
Well, we're going to continue to fight for them and try to fight for improvement too. So, here in Georgia, we just got medical cannabis passed this last legislative session here in 2019. Now, we're going to continue to fight. I mean, Veterans for Cannabis is not done with cannabis access and medical cannabis cultivation here in Georgia. We want to fight until every patient has the choice. So, how can we
Absolutely.
improve the legislation that's on the books now? What would you like to see moving forward from a patient standpoint that we can improve upon the Georgia legislation that's there for medical cannabis?
Well, I think that a start is good, but they need to understand that there's other ways that you can deliver cannabis to your body that that are, are better for some people. Some people can't imbibe edibles. Some
Hmm.
people don't like the taste of things. Some people have a different effect from imbibing it, which is a different effect. So we
I'm one
need
of those.
to
I'm not an edible guy at all. I can't handle it.
we need to have concentrates that can be vaporized.
Hmm.
Um, we even considered the flower itself, which is the untouched, it's not chemicalized or anything at all.
Right.
So we need to look at different avenues that the plant can be ingested to someone. Um, and watch and study, look at the other states where this has been productive, where the crime rate is even lowered because of it.
Yes.
But give us an opportunity to vaporize it. Give us an opportunity to smoke it. If you have a sincere desire to help people, if you don't, just tell me that. That's what you're telling me now.
That's so true. So true. Well, I'll tell you what, brother, we're going to continue to fight, and I'm actually really, really excited about what we've got coming in 2020. I know that you and I are going to lock arms together and we're going to go to battle with the legislative body, but we're going to continue to fight for access in our veteran community, both at the state and federal level, too. If our listeners want to reach out and touch base with you, how can they get a hold of you?
They can reach. They can Facebook me if they want to. I'm
Awesome.
Anthony L. Knapper at Facebook, and my email address is aknapper at gmail.com. And I'm fully willing to have a conversation with any and everybody about something. And I'm hoping that if someone out there is adverse to it, if they want or have any questions, if I can't get you an answer, I'll find someone who can answer it for you.
I love it. That's the way that we were taught. Look, don't answer it wrong. say, I will find you an answer and let's get back to you. That's what it's all about.
Absolutely. I've been a fighter all my life, and I'll keep fighting. So um,
So
it's
true.
easier.
So
It's
true.
easier not to fight against me. Trust me.
That's right. Anthony Knapper, United States Marine Corps veteran. He is an air traffic controller by trade when he served in the Marine Corps. Knapper spelled with a K, Knapper. Anthony, thank you so much, brother, for being a part of this Veterans for Cannabis podcast today. Really appreciate you taking the time out of your schedule.
Joshua, I thank you. I'm humbled for you asking me to do it, and I'll do it any and every time you ask me, brother.
You
Semper
got a
Fi.
deal. Well, we're going to keep pushing Semper Fi. Thanks for joining us on the Veterans for Cannabis podcast. Y'all take care.
You all take care.